Our minds are powerful. They shape our thoughts, feelings, and actions. Understanding how our minds work can be life-changing. It's like having a secret manual. This manual helps us navigate the world with greater awareness. Psychology is the study of the mind. It's not just for academics. It offers practical insights that everyone can use. These insights can improve our daily lives. They can help us build better habits, make better decisions, and have stronger relationships. Think of this essay as a crash course in applied psychology. We'll explore simple but powerful mind hacks. These hacks are easy to understand and apply. They can make a real difference in your everyday life. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets of your mind. Framing is how we present information. It significantly impacts our choices. Even subtle changes in wording can influence our decisions. Imagine you're buying a new phone. Would you be more likely to purchase one advertised as having a 1% failure rate or a 99% success rate? Most people would choose the phone with a 99% success rate. Both statements mean the same thing. However, framing it positively makes it more appealing. We can use framing to our advantage. For instance, instead of focusing on the negatives of a situation, try reframing it in a positive light. Look for the silver lining. This simple shift in perspective can significantly impact your mood and motivation. Remember, it's not about being delusional. It's about choosing to focus on the aspects that empower you to take positive action. We all want to build good habits, but starting can feel overwhelming. This is where the 2-minute rule comes in. It's brilliantly simple. Break down any new habit into a 2-minute version. Want to start running every morning? Begin by simply putting on your running shoes. Want to read more? Start by reading just 1 page each day. The key is to make the initial step so easy that you can't say no. Our brains love small victories. Once you start that 2-minute action, you're more likely to continue. This is because starting is often the hardest part. By making it ridiculously easy, you overcome the initial resistance. Remember, small changes, consistently applied, lead to significant results over time. Section 4. Hack number 3. Active listening. The key to stronger relationships. Communication is key in any relationship. It's the foundation upon which trust and understanding are built. But listening is just as important as speaking. In fact, it might even be more crucial. Active listening is a powerful technique that can transform your interactions. It goes beyond just hearing words. It involves fully focusing on the speaker, giving them your undivided attention. You aim to understand their message both verbally and non-verbally. This means paying attention to their body language and tone of voice. When you actively listen, you demonstrate genuine interest and empathy. This shows the speaker that you truly care about what they are saying. You make the other person feel heard and understood. This validation is crucial for building trust. This creates a deeper connection. It fosters a sense of closeness and mutual respect. To practice active listening, maintain eye contact, nod your head, and ask clarifying questions. These actions show that you are engaged. Avoid interrupting or offering unsolicited advice. Let the speaker finish their thoughts. For example, if a friend is telling you about their stressful day, resist the urge to jump in with solutions. Sometimes they just need to vent. Instead, listen attentively, acknowledge their feelings, and provide a supportive space for them to vent. Active listening takes practice and patience, but the rewards are immense. It can lead to stronger, more fulfilling relationships. It strengthens relationships and fosters deeper connections, making every interaction more meaningful. Section 5 hack number 4, the endowment effect and its impact on our choices. The endowment effect is a fascinating psychological bias that influences our perception of value. We tend to overvalue things we own simply because we own them, often without realizing it. This bias has a significant impact on our decisions, particularly when it comes to buying and selling items. For example, you might find it hard to sell a childhood toy for its actual worth, even if it's just an old, worn-out item. This is because you attach sentimental value to it, making it seem more valuable than it really is, distorting its true market value. Understanding the endowment effect can help us make more rational decisions, especially in financial matters. When selling something, be aware of this bias and try to assess its value objectively, considering what a neutral party might pay. When buying, don't be afraid to negotiate a fair price, even if the seller seems emotionally attached to the item. Remember, just because something holds sentimental value for someone doesn't necessarily mean it's worth more in the market. By recognizing and accounting for the endowment effect, we can make more informed and balanced choices. Section 6. Hack number 5. Anchoring bias. How our first impressions deceive us. Anchoring bias is another powerful cognitive bias that affects our daily lives in subtle yet significant ways. It describes our tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive, the anchor, when making decisions. This initial piece of information can set the tone for all subsequent judgments. Imagine you're negotiating the price of a used car. The seller throws out a ridiculously high number as their initial asking price. Even if you know it's overpriced, that initial anchor will likely influence your perception of a fair price. This can make it difficult to negotiate effectively. Even if you know it's overpriced, that initial anchor will likely influence your perception of a fair price. You'll end up offering more than you would have if the seller had started with a lower number. You'll end up offering more than you would have if the seller had started with a lower number. This is why understanding anchoring bias is crucial. Being aware of anchoring bias can help us make more informed decisions. When faced with a decision, try to gather information from various sources. When faced with a decision, try to gather information from various sources. This will help you see the bigger picture and avoid being swayed by the initial anchor. Don't let the first piece of information you receive unduly influence your judgment. Always question the initial anchor and seek out additional data. Remember, the first piece of information isn't always the most accurate. It can be misleading and set you on the wrong path. Seek multiple perspectives to make well-rounded decisions. By doing so, you can mitigate the effects of anchoring bias and make choices that are truly in your best interest. Section 7. The path to a more fulfilling life. These mind hacks are just a glimpse into the fascinating world of psychology. By understanding how our minds work, we can make positive changes in our lives. We can build better habits, make more informed decisions, and build stronger relationships. Remember, these hacks are not about manipulating others.